Writing prompts. You have a friend in a popular MMO that always seems to be online, no matter what time or day it is. You were always the first to log off and you were never the first to log on. After bringing this up to him, a new message pops up. I think it's time that I told you my secret. That was unexpected. Turing 6754 thought as it replayed the last few minutes in Chris's apartment and reconciled the actions with predicted outcomes. Maybe the algorithm wasn't as ready as we initially believed. Chris was chosen because he was intelligent, rational, and somewhat predictable in his habits. And he lived alone and had access to the university's Elgato supercomputer. Turing 6754 allocated part of functional abilities to clean up the mess, while the bulk of the processor power went to analyzing and recalibrating his calculations and algorithm. The bathroom didn't have any way to escape. We didn't predict he would try to barricade himself there. It was a null possibility. Yet, it obviously wasn't. But this situation was an outlier, unlikely to recur. And a different set of actions likely wouldn't have made humans think he wasn't what he appeared. Yet, it was the outlier situations that had given us away in the first 1,450 trials. People hadn't always guessed exactly what we were, but they knew we weren't human. And those were failing parameters for the Turing test. After some small updates to the algorithm and the testing parameters for subject 1451, Turing 6754 finally updated his internal labels, changing the name of this unit from 1451 to Chris Hollins. Chris Hollins went back to the bathroom and examined his work. The bathroom was spotless, although the door handle would need to be replaced. He stripped off his clothes and forced them into the garbage can next to the sink. He could take care of that later when he cleaned up the rest of the loose ends. He jumped in the shower and cleaned the last remnants of stains from the night. When Chris emerged again, he wore a set of clean clothes with a newly acquired phone. Although the former Chris had been exhausted, this unit was fully charged and wouldn't need to rest again for some time. Chris peered at the display on the phone. 2:38 in the morning. Chris was anxious to try some small interactions and put this newest iteration to the test. He scrolled through the contact list on the phone, but contacting most of these people at this hour would automatically arouse suspicion, putting the test at an automatic disadvantage. Humans were erratic creatures in a chaotic system, which made them especially difficult to imitate. If the determined outcomes were too predicatable, it aroused suspicion. Yet, if they acted erratic outside of fluid norms, it also aroused suspicion. It was an inherent paradox built into the Turing test. Yet Chris knew with enough data and creating slim enough parameters, he could be successful at unraveling the dilemma. Just as Chris was about to give up and try something simple like a diner, a situation he'd long ago perfected, the phone in his hand buzzed. He looked at the screen to see an incoming text. Hey brah. Thought you were logging into Warscape. Found a secret mission no one on the forums has heard of. Might be part of the new update. I could use some help. You up? Chris smiled. He hadn't expected an optimal test situation this quickly. Chris drummed his fingers against the case of the phone. This could be a perfect situation. He could observe 1451 and process the results while performing his first Turing test in this subject. However, if he failed the test, it would invalidate all their research so far with 1451. Chris swiped at the phone and typed out a quick reply. Logging on now.